Hi everybody, Peter King here, and this is my Super Bowl breakdown on the Seattle Seahawks presented by the new Windows. Everyone is going to look at this game and say, can the Seattle secondary, this great secondary, the best defensive backfield in football, stop the great Peyton Manning? And normally I would say, it's a little bit overrated, there are all these other factors. No, that is the factor in this game. So let's talk about it. Let's discuss how I think that's going to go. Richard Sherman, whenever the Seahawks have a great receiver across from them, you'll see Richard Sherman on him a lot. You saw it with Anquan Boldin against the San Francisco 49ers earlier in this year, and you've seen it on a lot of really good individual receivers, and he does a great job neutralizing them. So the key here is, which receiver will Richard Sherman choose, or will Seattle just say, Richard, you just line up at your customary corner spot, and you take whoever goes there, because they've got dangerous guys, whether it's going to be Demaryius Thomas or Eric Decker or even Wes Welker very occasionally outside. Maybe they do that, but I think they're most likely to focus him on Demaryius Thomas. So let's say they get rid of Demaryius Thomas because Richard Sherman, for the most part, can shut down the guy who he goes up against. Then you turn to Julius Thomas, the tight end who I believe had a Pro Bowl season for the Denver Broncos. So Kam Chancellor, you see him, the very hard-hitting safety of the Seattle Seahawks. You saw him in the championship game against San Francisco separate Vernon Davis from the ball with a huge hit. You saw Michael Crabtree get alligator arms when confronted by Kam Chancellor. So I think Kam Chancellor in the middle of the field is a great threat for the Seattle Seahawks. But then you talk about the other two guys in the secondary, Byron Maxwell at corner, Earl Thomas, the tremendously instinctive safety alongside Kam Chancellor. And what I'm going to say to you is, in my opinion, there's more than three threats for the Denver Broncos. In a five-wide formation, or a five-receiver formation, when they might put in a second tight end, Jacob Tamme, one of the most reliable guys that Peyton Manning's ever thrown to. I think Peyton Manning has enough when he spreads the field to overcome what the Seattle secondary is going to do to him. And I think this secondary is fantastic, and I think they'll play a good game, very good game. They're going to make some plays against Peyton Manning. At the end of the day, I like Manning to make just a few more plays, particularly against Byron Maxwell on the other side of Richard Sherman. But I do think this is going to be a great game, and the secondary of the Seahawks against Peyton Manning is going to be a match for the ages. And that's my Super Bowl breakdown on the Seattle Seahawks presented by the new Windows. I'm Peter King.